16 Ways to Overcome Loneliness and Fear of Loneliness. Welcome to Self-Remodel. Self-Remodel is a personal growth and development channel. Self-Remodel will help to enhance your personal growth and development, thereby giving your life a good and valuable meaning. On this channel, you will see videos promoting personal growth and development, including videos focusing on self-development, success and growth mindset, self-discipline, overcoming fear, self-confidence, anxiety, and stress management. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel to get a regular dose of personal growth and development to become a better you and remodel self. Relax, have fun as you see our videos, and become a better you and remodel self for good. Thank you. Let us start with these quotes. Stay afraid, but do it anyway. What is important is the action. You don't have to wait to be confident. Just do it and eventually, the confidence will follow. Carrie Fisher. The swiftest way to triple your success is to double your investment in personal development. Robin Sharma. 16 ways to overcome loneliness and fear of loneliness are discussed in this video. In this video, you will understand the meaning of loneliness, fear of loneliness, differences between fear of loneliness and loneliness, differences between fear of loneliness and separation anxiety, symptoms of the fear of loneliness, causes of the fear of loneliness, coping with the fear of loneliness, and 16 ways to overcome loneliness and fear of loneliness. Now, let us start. What is loneliness? Loneliness and fear of loneliness are becoming an epidemic in our culture. Loneliness is the feeling of being alone, regardless of the amount of social contact. Social isolation is a lack of social connections. Social isolation can lead to loneliness in some people, while others can feel lonely without being socially isolated. Loneliness is a pestilence that influences many individuals. It's difficult to manage. In any case, what's regularly neglected is the dread of loneliness, which can be similar to trying for some individuals. It's the main problem, and on the off chance that you're adapting to it, you are certainly not the only one. What is fear of loneliness? Dread of loneliness, likewise called monophobia or atophobia, is basically stress over being separated from everyone else. Fear of loneliness, known as atophobia, isolophobia, eremophobia, or monophobia, is the fear of being isolated, lonely, or alone. For instance, monophobia is a specific phobia that means that it involves the fear of a certain situation. When faced with the feeling of being alone, someone with monophobia will experience extreme anxiety. It isn't so much that you are lonely at the time, it is that you stress over how you will feel later on when you are separated from everyone else. Fear of loneliness can manifest in various ways, including fear of residing alone or of being at home alone. Stress over getting isolated from a specific individual, like a kid or companion. Fear of being out in the open without somebody you know being with you. And anxious expectation of being distant from everyone else during special times of the year. Fear of loneliness versus loneliness. It should be noted that there is a difference between loneliness and the fear of loneliness. Loneliness is the genuine condition of feeling miserable at the time that you are separated from everyone else. Fear of loneliness is stress that you will be distant from everyone else at some future moment, regardless of whether quickly or in advanced stage. Sensations of loneliness can likewise trigger a fear of loneliness. You may be doing a firm perusing a book alone in your home when you begin to get lonely. You start to feel dismal that you are distant from everyone else. Then, at that point, your psyche starts to believe that you're continually going to be separated from everyone else, or that something awful will happen when you are separated from everyone else. This triggers the fear of loneliness. Fear of loneliness versus separation anxiety. Fear of loneliness shares a great deal, practically speaking, with partition anxiety. Specifically, when individuals feel terrified of being isolated from a specific individual, it's a great deal like partition anxiety problem. Fears additionally fall into the classification of anxiety problems, and you can foster a fear of loneliness. In this way, when it is anxiety and when is it just fear, which can be similarly upsetting. Basically, it comes down to the force of fear. An individual probably won't meet the clinical meaning of an anxiety problem yet have a fear of loneliness. Anxiety is stress over what's to come. It can prompt physical and emotional well-being issues, for example, quick breathing and inconvenience resting. Fear of being separated from everyone else is a type of anxiety, however, it might not have each of the analytic rules of a particular anxiety problem. Symptoms of the fear of loneliness. The fear of loneliness can manifest in several ways. Implications of the fear of loneliness include anxiety side effects and the fear of being separated from everyone else. Here are some of the major symptoms of the fear of loneliness. Antsy, restless feelings. Constantly filling empty space with TV or other chatter to numb your mind. Difficulty breathing. Dizziness. Fear of being alone and aging alone. Fear of abandonment. Fear of strangers, intruders, and noises. Feeling a sense of doom. Not standing up for yourself in relationships because you fear losing the person. Panic attack. Rapid heart rate. Ruminating thoughts about being unloved, ignored, or unwanted. Shaking and sweating. Spending time with people you don't enjoy just to avoid being alone. Trouble concentrating, focusing, or thinking clearly. And worry about getting harmed. Causes of the fear of loneliness. What causes the fear of loneliness? Sometimes, we often fear encountering something difficult based on our past experience. We would rather not happy going through that experience again. Some of us have encountered loneliness, and don't desire to go through it again. Dread of loneliness, also known as monophobia or atophobia, is basically stress over being separated from everyone else. Monophobia may be linked with other mental health conditions including borderline personality disorder and agoraphobia. When faced with the feeling of being alone, someone with monophobia will experience extreme anxiety. Other common causes of the fear of loneliness include excessive screen time might be linked with fear of loneliness or an inability to be alone. Insecure attachment from childhood that makes you feel like when people aren't around you that they don't still love you. And unprocessed trauma. For example, you may not want to be alone in your home because something bad has happened to you in a home previously. Coping with the fear of loneliness. The fear of loneliness is similar to anxiety, which makes us adapt to certain conditions. Profound breathing, moderate muscle unwinding, care contemplation, moving or dancing, and different exercises might help you to adapt when the fear of loneliness emerges. Doing something that helps you to concentrate can also be helpful in overcoming the fear of loneliness and anxiety. Playing music, seeing a movie that you love, or preparing a most loved supper can also help to overcome the fear of loneliness and anxiety. 16 ways to overcome loneliness and fear of loneliness. Here are 16 ways to overcome loneliness and fear of loneliness. 1. Be kind to yourself. Your inner critic can feed feelings of loneliness. If you think you are different from other people or that you don't fit in, it can be harder to bond with others. You could get stuck and be lonely, thereby resulting in the fear of loneliness. Recognize your thoughts and see them as a chance to make some changes. 2. Be kind to others. Taking time out of your schedule to help others can be a great help. Lending a hand can unlock your inner joy and help you feel like part of a larger community. Check on an older relative or neighbor. Volunteer for a soup kitchen or for a virtual community event. 3. Plan ahead. There are days on the calendar that can make you sad. Plan ahead for tough days or seasons and put something fun on the calendar. Try to meet safely with friends or family. When a day, or time of year, you dread has something you're looking forward to instead, it can help. 4. Create a list of activities you can do by yourself. Ironically, if you only ever try to cure your loneliness by surrounding yourself with people, it can be remarkably short-lived. Instead, Have a list of simple activities you enjoy or would be willing to try when you are lonely. For example, solving a puzzle, playing on your phone, crocheting, quilting, watching movies, painting, and screenwriting. The objective is to distract from acute loneliness in a healthy way. 5. Look for activities where you can be alone with other people. Think meetup groups, library clubs, city events, and so on. If you can establish a new hobby that puts you with like-minded people, even better. Look for classes or groups that are welcoming to beginners. The objective here is to find a place where you will be around people, even if you are not necessarily making friends. You might end up meeting somebody great and better there for companionship. 6. Make a list of the people you can be with when you are lonely. Is it a friend, family member, or an acquaintance who keeps things positive? Give yourself a list of people to lean on when you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. You want to keep your options open, so list as many as you can. Avoid leaning on a single person. If you can, it can put too much pressure on the relationship and leave you feeling as if they're not available when you call. 7. Try to be social sometimes, even if you don't feel like it. Does the idea of talking to new people make you break out in a cold sweat? That's not unusual. Loneliness has a way of making social interaction seem pointless. Daily affirmations, like positive I statements, could help. I am interesting, I have things to offer, I am not afraid of rejection are a few good examples. 8. Try giving back. Maybe it's volunteering to play with cats at the local animal shelter, dog walking, serving meals at a homeless shelter, or visiting people in nursing homes. Contributing to your community in a way that feels good can be wonderful for loneliness. The interactions can help build positive connections with new people or pets, who are happy to see you, without leaning too heavily on the friend group. 9. Find a way to move your body that you enjoy. It is not so much about exercise, but it is about getting in touch with your sensory system, which can encourage a state of connection and flow. The objective is to engage your body and mind out of the loneliness. Surfing, playing soccer, sailing, walking barefoot in sand or grass, all of these can help you pay attention to the sensations in your body. 10. Consider going to therapy. Even if you're skeptical of therapy's other values, it can be helpful for loneliness simply because you're being heard and valued, and gives you someone to talk to. Sometimes it's just about somebody listening to you, and that's very important. 11. See if your company has an employee assistance program. If you're looking for help but don't totally know where to begin, check to see if your employer has an EAP. Often they will offer free or discounted benefits that include access to counselors and therapists who can help you work through your loneliness. 12. Take a social media break. Social media can bring people together, but it can also make people feel terribly lonely, and experience the fear of missing out. Studies have shown that there is a causal connection between social media use and feelings of depression and loneliness. So know that if your social media is making you feel more distant than connected, you're not alone. Consider deleting the apps from your phone and giving yourself a break. 13. Get some sunshine. It might seem silly, but getting out in the sunshine and fresh air can do wonders for your mental health. Getting sun can trigger your body to produce endorphins and serotonin, which have positive effects on how you feel. Of course, remember to wear sunscreen. 14. Remember, loneliness is temporary. Even if you are feeling lonely now, that doesn't mean you will always feel lonely or you will never find a community that nourishes you. You are the architect of your future. Don't be afraid to go out and make new friends. Everyone has something to offer in relationships. You just have to go out and make friends, overcome loneliness. 15. Seek therapy. Everyone feels lonesome from time to time. But experts say there is a problem if you feel empty and lonely more than once a week. If you can't overcome the feeling of loneliness, you might need to talk to a counselor. The loss of a loved one, divorce, retirement, or moving to a new town can unleash lonely feelings. A therapist can help you work through these moments and give you tools to make them better. 16. Learn to cherish alone time. It may sound strange, but spending time alone can help if you feel lonely. It is important to distinguish between loneliness and social isolation. Loneliness is subjective. There are people who are fairly isolated who are not lonely, and others who are around a lot of people with a deep sense of loneliness. Spending time with yourself can help you feel recharged, bring greater clarity and focus, and boost creativity. It can also help you with your relationships, as spending quality time with yourself can help you appreciate your time with others. As with anything, balance is key. If you're spending too much time alone, your gut will tell you. You may feel something is off. That can be a good sign to get back in touch with others. Conclusion. The meaning of loneliness, fear of loneliness, and 16 ways to overcome loneliness and fear of loneliness have been discussed in this video. It is good to overcome loneliness and the fear of loneliness. Loneliness doesn't have to be a constant in your life. Making a few changes can return the joy, connection, and friendships that are waiting around the corner. Keeping away from anxiety triggers, including triggers of your fear of loneliness, can sometimes increase the problem over the long term. It is critical to adjust these interruptions by rehearsing the specialty of being separated from everyone else. Don't struggle with the fear of loneliness alone. Reaching out for treatment solutions is helpful in overcoming that fear. If your fear of loneliness is related to childhood attachment issues, trauma, or interrelational issues, then it may be helpful to seek therapeutic support to work through those challenges. Addressing those underlying issues can help in resolving the fear of loneliness. You should, therefore, reach out for necessary treatment solutions. I hope this video is helpful and beneficial to you. We love to hear from you. Kindly post your comments below in the comments section. If this video has been helpful and beneficial to you, then, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you for seeing the Self-Remodel channel videos. We love to hear from you. Please post your comments and questions in the comment section below. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Self-Remodel channel, and press the notification button so you can be notified when we upload new videos. Thank you.